Hey guys, what is going on? It's Fen here again, and today we're actually going to start off and we're going to talk about factions. So I've installed factions, and it's really cool actually. We're just kind of learning how to use it. And for people who have existing towns, if you invite me to your faction and promote me to a mod, I can auto claim your land. And because I can fly, it's going to be a lot quicker for me to claim your land area. Now, what is Factions? Factions is basically a guild plugin, and it will allow you to create a guild where you and your friends can protect your own village, and you can protect it from any griefing at all. So this is another really awesome griefing program, and it's kind of funny how the anti-griefing in this plugin is somewhat better than a lot of the protection stuff out there, but it offers so much more. It offers, people to have a guild where they can form their own little community. It allows you to, define where people's builds are, and it's just a really cool plugin. So, as you can see here, I'm currently in the wilderness. You won't be able to see it, but if we go over here, you will see Rome, the Brave Warriors. So I've entered their faction territory. Now, if I try to break these blocks, I can't even break any of these blocks, and I'm an OP. So it's a very, very awesome anti-griefing thing. So if someone accidentally gets OP for some reason, they can't destroy anything. So it's really, really cool. So if I do /F map on, you will see these little slashes represent Rome's territory. Now, you get different characters for different factions. Now, because the other faction, if I do /LS, you can see there's two factions. There's Rome and there's Sparta. Rome is Ralph's, which we're at now, and Sparta is Zombies, who currently hasn't claimed any land yet because his first character is 0. He's got 155 power. His max power is 160. The reason he has that much, normally you would start off with 10. The reason he's got that much is because I give people about 150 power, simply because they've already started building. So they need a lot of power to claim their land, and there's no point just giving them 10 because they'd have to stay on for like a day to actually get the power they need to protect their land. And because all factions on the RPG server will be set to peaceful, there's no point giving people 10 power. I might as well just give them unlimited if I can. So that's not too bad. So everyone will get enough power to claim their land. If they need more power, by all means, I will give them more power. You just got to ask for it. I might end up giving people a default of 1000 power, and I think I can actually configure that in the config. But the config is really weird because it's not a YML, it's a bjon or something. I've never seen one of them files before. But yeah, let's go over a little bit of the factions. So if we go out here, you'll see we enter the wilderness, and we've got the auto map on at the minute. So every time I move, it will auto update in the chat, which is kind of nice, but if you like chatting to someone, it's going to be difficult to actually see what they're typing. So as you can see, the little blue cross on your screen, or teal cross, it looks more like tealy blue. Anyways, the blue cross on the chat log is basically where I am. Now, each dash on the map represents 16 blocks. Now, as you can see, Ralph has quite a lot of blocks. I'm going to fly over, and you will see that if we go into his village, he's got a very, very big area that is protected. As you can see, it's even going to go off to the other side now. So he has a very, very big area that he has protected, which is really cool. It lets you know if you go into this area. This is mainly for the PvP server, but if you go into this area, you will be killed basically, because this is another faction's territory. And one good thing about being in a faction is if you're in your base and someone tries to come in and invade you, then you take 50% less damage, so you will be able to survive in your faction unless you get raided really hard. So that's really, really cool. So I'm going to turn the map off now. It's F map off. Now, a lot of these commands I don't really know, but if you do /F, you'll bring up the first page of help commands, and all these commands are very useful. So you can see the list of factions, you can see how much power they have, you can join their faction, you can leave their faction, and you can chat just in them factions. So if you type /FC, then you will join the faction chat. So it's actually a private chat in a sense, just for your guild. So it's like guild chat. It's a really, really cool one. And you can also teleport to your faction home, which is another really cool thing. Now, if you want to get up more options of what to do, so you want to create a faction, you want to do /FH, which is the help menu, and then 2. And this will bring up the kind of commands to make your faction. So you've got F-create, which obviously creates your faction. You've got S-desk, which is description. You've got F-tag to tag your faction. You've got open, if you want to have invites open or not. You can invite specific players. And then for people to join, you just type /F join and then faction name. So that's really cool. And you've got faction set home, so you can set the home of your faction, so people can use /F home to get to your faction. So it kind of eliminates the need of portals in a sense, because everyone who has a town will have a faction, or they should at least have a faction. So I don't know, it's kind of really cool. So if we do help again, if we do free, you will see auto claim, unclaimed land, kick, mod, admin. Now if you promote someone to an admin, that will give them full rights. So if you create your faction, don't give anyone but yourself admin rights. If you want someone to help you claim land and help moderate the faction, then make people a mod. You can also change the title of a player, which is really cool as well. And if we want to go F4, and this one gives us map, so you can put map on, no boom, toggle explosive, peaceful factions only. So if you want explosions in your town, you can toggle them on or off. Owner, it obviously sets the ownership of the land, so you can give it to someone else or a specific person. If you want to move your faction, you can give this land that you've claimed to someone else. Owner list, you can obviously list the owners of specific lands. And let's go to F5. And this one isn't really anything that we need to worry about. Obviously, you can disband your faction if you want. You can ally with another faction. You can set your faction to neutral, or you can set your faction as enemy, of course, to flag other factions as enemy as well. So if we go to 6 now, you can never hurt members or allies. This is basically kind of information rather than commands on this one. And when you die, you lose power if it is restored over time. Let's see, your power or faction is the sum of all member power. So the more members you have, the more power you will get. The power of faction determines how much land it can hold. So if you lose power, you lose land. So you will have to reclaim it if you keep dying. So if all your members keep dying, and you've got to watch out for this. If people in your faction do it deliberately, then you will have to kick them, because they're just going to lose more and more land for you. But being on peaceful, it's not that big of a deal. Let's do number 7. Again, this is just some more information. Only faction members can build and destroy their own territory. Usage of the following items are restricted: doors, chests, furnace dispensers, and diode. I don't know what that is. So let's go to F8. I think this is more my commands as being an admin. Obviously, I can bypass anyone's protection with bypass. I can claim safe zones where no land can be claimed. I can claim war zones where people will like do battle and stuff like that. I can auto claim. I can unclaim all. And let's see what else is. I can set factions to peaceful. Ooh, excuse me. I can set factions to peaceful, and that's pretty much what I'll be doing with every faction that is created. Let's go to F9. So here I can chat spy if I want to spy on you guys talking crap about me. Hey, hey. I can make a faction permanent, so if it ever does get disbanded, it will still be there. I can grant factions or players power. I can obviously make permanent power. I can give you a permanent power, which I think I might do actually. And let's actually try that. F permanent power Rome. And then let's say 150. So, and then I'll do the next for Sparta. 150, there we go. So they will always have 150 land, which I think is reasonable. So they will never drop below that. And that is really cool. And then I've got config, so I can edit the config powers if I wish. And then let's see what is on number 10 rather. And then 10, I can lock all write stuff. Don't know really what that is. Reload data, save all data to disk, and see versions. So that is pretty much it. Some of them you won't be using, of course, because they're only admin stuff, but generally that's how factions will work. So let's just quickly claim some land, just so we can give you an example of how it actually works. This is no tutorial by any means. I just wanted to give you guys, a little indication of how it is. So as you can see, we've entered the wilderness, which means we can pretty much do what we want. We can claim what we want. So I've built my house here. Job's a good one. And what do we want to do now? So I'm going to create a faction. F create. Boom. Boom. There we go. And I'm going to do /f desk for my description. And I'm going to name this description more boom. Boom. There we go. So my faction has been fully created. You don't have to add a description if you want. So I'm going to do /f ls for list. And there we go. So I've got boom boom. Now mine is green. And that's because it's not peaceful. So that's kind of an indicator to see what is peaceful and what isn't. And people in chat. So as you can see, I've got 130. I'm sure I give people 150. Oh, well, yeah, I don't have 150. I didn't set myself to 150. So as you can see, they will always have 150. I might change that to, I don't know, 1,000. So they've got unlimited, pretty much. But if I want to claim a land, I would do /f, let's see, h3. It will be under here. There we go. So claim land where you are. Okay, so I'm going to do /f claim, and you claim land for your faction. Okay, so I claimed it around this area here. So if I do /f map on, if I move now, you will see that I have a slash, which is boom boom. So if I do /f show, this is all the information about my faction. So my description is boom, more boom boom boom. Joining invite is required. Invitation is required, should I say. It shows my power. As you can see, I've just claimed one bit of land, which gives me one bit of land. And I can claim up to 130. I've got no allies, no enemies, and members online, which is me. So if I want to claim more land, which is cool, I'm going to do / let's actually bring this back up. This could be... Okay, so I'm going to do /f auto claim and put that on. So you claimed land for your faction from the wilderness. So I'm going to move around like this, and I'm just going to basically make more land. Now obviously because I'm flying, it kind of shows up like it shows up faster, but when you're doing this properly, you would actually run around like this. And then as you can see, it keeps adding areas to this. So if I do /f claim again, it disables it. So now if I walk around, you will see, let me actually disable the map. And then if we go over here, you'll see I'm in the wilderness. But if I come over here, there we go, we've entered the boom boom faction, and this is my faction. So that is really cool, and that's pretty much how you make your base, your faction base. It's very simple. There's a few commands you just need to know, and that's pretty much it. So if we want to unclaim our land, we can actually go to F3 again, and it should say unclaim. So if I want to do /f unclaim some land. So if I'm gonna can we do auto unclaim? Let's actually try that. Auto unclaim. No, you can't do auto unclaim. So you will have to let's see, unclaim all your factions land. Ah, there we go. So we can just do /f unclaim all, and it will unclaim all the land for my faction. And if I want to do individual plots, of course, I'd just use /unclaim. And if I do /f map on, you will see there's no more area of my faction, which is really, really cool. So that is pretty much it, guys. So I hope you enjoy this. If you've got any problems and you're stuck, either ask me or Ralph or Zemeister, because they're really good with factions. I'm kind of learning it because it's the first time I've used it. You can claim factions for anything you want, even if it's just a tower. You can claim a land, a plot around it. You can claim anything you want, but if you go around claiming random pieces of land, your faction will be disbanded by me. Only claim land that you actually want to use for your village. That's the kind of common way of using it. Protect your village, protect your house, protect your town, that type of thing. But if you go around protecting random plots around the map, then it's just stupid. Unless you plan on building there in the future, then that's okay. But for any other reason, then your guild or your faction will just be disbanded, and that'll be that. So if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments or ask me in game. If you've got any more suggestions of factions, anything I missed out that is quite important, let me know. And that's pretty much it, guys. So thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next episode. Peace out.